Okay, thanks for staying with us. With the 2019 general election almost at hand, all eyes are on Nigeria's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
Now, the commission has a lot on its plate, but one major challenge it's faced with is the issue of unclaimed permanent voters card. That's the PVC.
And since last year, INEC began raising the alarm over thousands of unclaimed voters' cards by the electorate in different states. The electoral umpire has intensified its call on electorate or voters to go collect their PVCs. Nigeria has a population of more than 190 million people, but less than 50 million participate in the process of electing their leaders.
You're right. Now, INEC says it might be forced to burn the unclaimed permanent voter cards before the 2019 elections to prevent them from getting to the wrong hands.
Well, we have Chris Kainde-Wandu. He's still with us in the studio. Thank you for remaining with us.
Thank you very
and
much.
we're also being joined by a public affairs analyst, Alistair Wilcox. Good morning. And thanks for joining us.
Morning,
Good to see you.
gentlemen. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's begin with this announcement by INEC that there is a strong possibility that they might decide to burn up the PVCs if uncollected. Should that even arise in the first place, Wilcox?
Sincerely, I don't envy the job INEC is doing. And I also want to praise them for some of the far-reaching measures they've taken so far. I think from later part of 2000 and let's say from 2015 election, INEC has demonstrated some great measure of credibility and openness in the elections. Let me even say, after the 2011 election, of 2003, 2007 were a total wash-off. By then, INEC was at the pocket of whoever the president then, which was Obasanjo.
Especially 2003.
He called it do or die and everything. So 2003, 2007 was terrible. We begin to have some resemblance of credibility 2011, and then elections that subsequently followed. So there is this great march towards improvement.
In which areas? I'm curious to know exactly.
In terms of,
specifically,
yes, in terms of what happens at the polls.
Okay.
Now, why am I hinging my on that? If you look at past elections, look at the turnout and the results. It will tell you that these are cooked up stories, figures. That's why you used to hear landslide, sea slide, moon slide victories. Cooked up stories. Like my dear River State, does always have like 2.1 million voters. 2.1 will come out and vote. Nobody stayed at home. Nobody. So that's what we used to have. But there was something that struck me. That was Ondo election, re-election of Mimiko. His first election victory, I think he scored over 1.something million votes to win. But the second election, the totality of vote that elected Mimiko the second time in Ondo State was less than 600,000. Okay. Spread across all the, and then that now devolves into other elections. Look at the election of Bros Fayose back to power. The total vote was less than 200,000. But if you check the register of Ekiti, they had over 1.2 million voters. So to that, I think there was some element of. Now back to your question. Yes. I was just laying that back to your question. I think that would, for me, would be the best thing to happen. Really? Because those PVCs are highly security documents. And if they are left, since they have remained unclaimed for this long, now, PVC have remained unclaimed since 2014, when people got their PVCs. And we're having that unclaimed going on. That apparently means nobody is coming up to claim those PVCs.
Doesn't it mean INEC is not doing its job effectively?
INEC is doing as much as... I got my PVC without issue. I'm sure those of you...
That's you, but there's so many people who...
Yes, I got my PVC.
He didn't take...
I registered, and when they say PVC are ready, I went in there and collected my PVC. Maybe at the course of, as we progress, we might be able to start identifying reasons why those PVCs are not claimed.
All right, now let's look at... In school, elementary, they tell you that precious commodities you can save in the banks.
Yes.
Now, he said PVC is a highly security commodity. It's a property of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that is under your custody. And we know what the PVC can do. Now, if INEC is keeping these things and then no one is claiming it as a case maybe, but they have been produced and somehow
and it costs money.
It costs money, and so much money has been invested into it, and we know that anyone who registers cannot re-register again, or cannot come back to register somewhere else. Yeah. Especially, we've seen the issue with the Kogi State governor, that the issues have been going up and down. So, if you destroy it, will you wipe the slate clean of that person? Now, the advocate now will be, what happens to saving them in the central bank? Having a vote for them, coding them and having them in the central bank.
Yes, thank you very much. I may differ. The question we should be asking ourselves, why are people not collecting?
That's the point.
Okay, that's the point. Okay.
7.9 million Nigerians.
I think that should be a question that INEC need to answer, because my personal opinion, I feel that, one, it could be due to the fact that some people have lost interest in the process. Some people believe that their vote doesn't count. They don't bother to vote any longer. You see, on the day of election, people sit down in their homes and watching TV and do all sorts of things. You see people going to the football, playing football, going to the streets and playing, because they believe that irrespective. Let's say somebody say, we vote, we no vote, the person will go win. With that kind of mentality, most people find it difficult to vote. So they just feel that it's an exercise in futility, so they refuse. So what we need to start doing is the building confidence in people that your vote will actually count. With that kind of mentality, people and demonstrate such as well in the results that comes out. We've seen what has happened in several of the states, where somebody is leading, getting almost to the final point. Then the next day, no, they say, okay, we cannot, it's nightfall, come back tomorrow, let's continue. The next day, you just see that the whole process has just been there and someone else will be announced. So the problem...
although we have long gone past that.
Yes, no, but I'm coming to that. But also the latest biometric voter's card is just like your driving license. In that system, nobody can be registered twice. Yes. It's very difficult because your thumbprint has been taken. It's just like going to the bank to do your BVN. Nobody else can use that thumbprint. Yes. It's like going for your passport. You want to get your international passport. So those PVCs belong to people. So another problem is that most of them are not, where people get registered, at times are not the collection points. Yes. When INEC comes, they move from where the people register and take those things collection to other places. So people don't even find it difficult to even know where they can get their PVC. So I think the basic thing is that INEC should do a lot of mass enlightenment. Probably go along with national orientation agencies, radio, TV stations, mass media to announce that for those of you who still haven't collected your thing, please come and collect and give a deadline for that. After that, then they can find a way of keeping this thing, but destroying it, definitely not. Okay, and you know, it's incidentally, most of the unclaimed PVCs are actually in the southern part of the country. What does that really say? I mean, 8 out of 36 states account for more than half of the uncollected PVCs. And they're mostly in the southwest. Lagos, for example, which is really surprising, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Edo, Imo, and Rivers. What does it say really about the level of voter education in the southern part of the country? Is that what the problem is? Very high. Look, the southern part of the country has a high level of voters education. Most of the analysts are in the south. Most of us that make noise on the radio, TV, in terms of advocacy, we're in the south. How many of this do you have in the north? Most of those ones you see in social media is they're in the south that are talking about, oh, yeah, they're in the south. Now, I think the problem, let us go back to the problem. The problem is the fact that our voter register was fraught with irregularities and with fraudulent names and people. There is no way somebody will have a PVC in this modern Nigeria. My brother talks about orientation. I think we have long gone past that orientation level because it has been shouted and shouted. Let me say, in 2014, when this PVC came out and people registered, collection was at the point of registration. And a lot of people went there to get their PVCs. Now, there were some, I know there were some challenges. Some were not produced at that time. Some were misproduced and all those things. So a lot of people could not have theirs at that time. But this is 2018. No, this is 2018, from 2014, 4 years.
And this thing has been continuous. INEC has been doing everything they could for people to get. Now, there are people who will have registered in a location and relocate.
That's another point.
There are people like that. There are people who are no longer living. That is, those are a group of people.
There should be some kind of way of knowing those that are deceased.
You don't have statistics in this country for that. Nobody will go and report to INEC and said, nobody will go and report to INEC and said, so XYZ is no longer living.
No, it's not the INEC that's supposed to get that kind of information. There should be a
central database, which we don't have, which we don't have right now in the country, which is rather sad that we don't have. But so those who are not living, they have a percentage that are uncollected, that will not be collected. Those who have looked, like for instance, use coppers who come to a place and they register in that place and they leave, or people who just change job, change location and they leave.
Or university students
who have
graduated and left.
There are people like that. But the bulk, I think those ones might account for like 20, max 30%. But I want to tell you that the bulk are all those Mike Tysons, Barack Obamas. If you come to my south, you have Ngolo, Ikoro, Ngbe, Olo, all those seafoods. All these fish, the whole Tungo, Asaka Bori, all those names, all those Lokangala, all those things that you find in voter registers in Rivers State, Bayelsa, and all those areas. These are the bulk. I almost say the problem. So there's no way Ikoro is a seafood will come and collect his PVC now. There's no way that Ngala is this wood, this one you find. We cannot come and collect the PVC.
But don't forget, sometimes in Africa, we name ourselves after nature.
No, but what I'm telling you that, we know of a truth, we know of a fact, of a truth. And we must not share from that. We know of a truth that when we are manually, that's why I gave you an example of when Mimiko won his first election. And when there were strict monitoring of the election, check at Anambra election, what is the total vote? What is Anambra State's voters register?
Actually, Anambra has more than 50% collection rate.
Yes, but what I'm telling you, that is apparently the highest number of legible papers. The rest are the ones that the politicians infiltrate. So most of these PVCs can never be collected because they are not real.
You're saying that most likely INEC is culpable. INEC is being indicted.
INEC is culpable ab initio. But of course, they are now trying to unwind their culpability because this is a very, very wonderful. I mean, Ghana copied it from us. This is a very wonderful exercise whereby biometrics and everything will come to play. Unlike before. Before 12 o'clock, River State election is over. Results are out by 4 o'clock. You understand? But now, there are some.
Chris, the issue of merging your international passport with your BVN, with your PVC, with your driver license, and your national ID card. Government brought that issue one time, and it seems they're not talking about it anymore. Would that have solved this issue one way or the other?
Yes, it will. But before I get to that, let me come back to what he's saying. Voters apathy is not only domiciled in Nigeria. Go to the United States. How many people come out to vote? Go and check. Go and check the percentage of
the registered voters.
In fact, the last election that brought Trump was one of the highest, where you had the highest number of turnouts. But even at that, what was the larger percentage of people? Okay. Then also, when you talk of the PVC, yes, I agree with you. There are some fictitious names here and there, but don't also forget that each of these PVCs are matched with pictures. If you have the name of a fish, are you going to match the picture of a fish to the PVC?
Ongolo.
Ongolo. Or Mangala fish in my own place, my part of the world, where we get Mangala fish and the rest of them. You know. So what I'm saying is that most of these people, most of them are genuine human beings. You can't have over 7
who have genuine reasons for not being able to pick up their PVC.
That we should be addressing. Okay, that we should be addressing. Then back to your question. I think it's high time. I got my national ID card, the new one now. I got it. I had to go all the way to Abuja. I went through so many processes to finally I got it sometime last year. I registered, I think, about 2014 or thereabouts. Then I was sent a message that finally the stuff is ready. ID. So I had to go all the way to Abuja because that was where I registered. And I went through the processes and I got it. And the impression was given that with that ID card, I can do virtually everything with that ID card. That you can even serve as your ATM.
Yeah.
Yes, as your ATM card. So what we think, and what I think we should do now is, just as you mentioned, can't we collapse everything into that ID, that national ID card that is done all over the world?
Like a social security.
Yes, a social security. That's what happened in the States. You don't need to be carrying your PVC. You don't need to be carrying your...
That card is everything.
Yes. I'll say, when you walk to JFK, when they say, oh, you are a foreigner, come this way.
Come this
then
way,
come this way.
Americans,
And you see an American, they just bring out his card. And
That's
they just
it.
let, and he enters.
Yeah.
That on that card, every biometrics about that person is embedded in that single card. Why can't we do that? And I think that
and imagine how much it's costing us, to have this multiple.
Tomorrow you are going to for your what do you call, and for security reasons.
True.
For security reasons, if we have all this embedded into, when the Federal Road Safety said they were where we want to start doing the capturing and the rest of them. In fact, let me even say it here: Federal Road Safety, the present driver license being issued by the Federal Road Safety is with international standard. I'm sure.
Yes, indeed, yes.
I got to the States, United States, and realized that you can use that driver license to drive for 6 months. Nigerian driver license. Okay, without asking for any other, with that driver license, you can drive. So what it means is that we are getting it right. But what we need
Let's
to do
emphasize that it's the one that you go,
no, not the one that
captured,
say, no, bring
not the one that you
passport, not the one that say, bring the passport.
collect.
No.
But do they still do that one?
Do
they still do that?
Some people do it and give you the fake one.
Wow.
Okay. So what happens is that what we need to do is, if we can try to collapse all this because we are banditing, we can get the facts together. So back to this, I still feel that INEC still needs to do a lot of job. They need to enlighten people as we're moving towards.
Yes.
Don't forget also we are having a revision. They are having revision of voters register.
The continuous voter registration
verification.
I think.
So you're not in support of burning
No,
It's a complete
Alistair, are you in support of burning them?
Completely in support of burning them.
You are?
Because if after 4 years...
In spite of what it cost us to actually produce
because
those
it's
PVCs.
It's useless to whoever that is not taking it. I got my own PVC jealously. Look, I registered in my house, near my house. I went back there to get my PVC. You see, the problem, and my brother talked about him going through a problem in getting his national ID card. I didn't go through any problem. I registered at Lekki.
But even INEC itself actually, accepted the fact that, yes, indeed, some of the officials, their attitude and their body language is not encouraging at all.
I agree to that. What I'm saying is, I want to point to something. When this national ID card came up, I went to Lekki office, the office in Lekki, 2014. I registered. And 2015, later I got a text. Either 15 or 16, I got a text. It's ready. Come and pick it up. I went back there. I tell you, less than 5 minutes, I was out. And I got that thing so jealously. It's in my bag always.
Some viewers watching who have had to go through
Abuja,
really harrowing experiences will say you're only looking at it from your point of view. And not what I'm saying.
Almost a whole day to get that done.
Yes, but I'm just telling you what happened in Lekki office. I saw the bunch. And they so arranged it according to certain parameters. It didn't take them 5 minutes to give my... And a lot of people that came there, even when we went to do the capturing, it was so orderly. So there are some good aspects, there are some bad aspects. And again, Nigerians do not take things serious until it becomes critical. Look at the BVN issue. When BVN has to be registered, when people say, go and register for BVN, Nigerians didn't go until the last minute. So there are a lot of laxity on our own part too. In doing some of these things. You talked about our party.
But do you agree? Let's look at what Chris said earlier about the likely possibility that people are just protesting and saying, look, after all, our votes may not count at the end of the day, and we're not really getting the dividends of democracy.
Then why did you go out to register? If after registering,
you don't pick up your
and then you don't go, so what protest are you protesting? Then you have denied space to others. And don't forget that this register has gone through a lot of this office that INEC has used to weed out double registrants, some features they could identify, some unmatched biometric and all what. So there's a lot going on. I want to believe that if since 2014 to 2018, your PVC has been hanging somewhere, and if it's important to you, you've not taken time to go and, because even after they finish from the polling stations, they said local governments. It takes you to take a little patience. Well, he went through some hurdle because he felt his national ID card is important to him. So he went through the process. If you are asked to go through a process to collect salary, to collect money, will you not go through that process? I know I see people stand in the ATM queue for God knows how long because you want to collect your money. So you wait. So
that is in itself an anomaly. You're not supposed to.
Even in the UK, they're accused on ATM. I stand on queue the ATM in the UK to get money from the ATM.
But
so
not
not that long.
It's because people want to be there. People want to be there,
Well,
or there are not enough.
the point there is, when
if,
it comes to queuing
finally,
at the ATM.
So for me, if these things have remained unclaimed, they could fall into the wrong hands. They could be used for other things. So if after 4 years, 5 years, we are going to the 5th year of our PVC, and your PVC remain unclaimed, then you don't need it. And then so neither should burn it off, wash that off their system, wash those ones off their system. They can wash it out of their system, and then if you need it, you now come for a fresh registration because your data is no longer in the system.
Let me give a good example. Just this morning, as I was coming to the studio, I was listening to one of the radio stations in Lagos.
Yeah.
And the public relation officer of the Lagos Command of FRC, after giving her traffic reports, said, please, listeners, go and change your temporary driver's license to your, what they call it, permanent one, that these cards are ready. That is enlightenment.
Imagine how many people
you can imagine how many
that.
people listening to that alone across the country. Okay? And she went further. Sonusi, Olabisi Sonusi, I listened to her. She went further. Go to the point at which you were captured. Because that's also the mistake some people make. The fact that, oh, they say we should collect our driver's license. Somebody that is living in Lekki, that got captured at Judu, we go to Lekki to collect. Those are the part of information I'm talking about.
Information gap is
a
major problem.
So those are the kind of things that INEC should be doing. Rather than just saying that, oh, we'll burn it up and
I think when it comes to enlightenment,
INEC has been doing that.
When it comes to enlightenment and orientation, we expect to see viral videos, viral graphics, all of those on our social media.
I watch them on your own stations too. INEC has been doing quite a lot. And in that, look, that's not that it's not too enough to get a job done. But I also appreciate the fact that they've been doing quite substantially enough to get people, because it is your property.
They can do more.
They can property.
That is my
Let's move away from that very quickly. I'd like you gentlemen to talk about this. No e-voting in 2019. And of course, Mahmoud Yakub has expressed concerns about the abuse of technology. The whole Cambridge Analytica thing is the cause for problem. As a matter of fact, Nigeria was mentioned in that one, in Nigeria 2015 election.
Yes.
What are your concerns?
Personally, I think we should start going that way now. That is the solution.
The way of e-voting.
Yeah, yes, e-voting now. Because you know what, that's also, it also gives platform for Nigerians living abroad to vote. We've always been having issues with those in diaspora participating, being part of the electoral processes. Okay? I still go back to where we are copying this democracy from the United Kingdom, from the US and the rest of it. A citizen of the US living in Nigeria doesn't have to go back to Washington to vote.
That's true.
And we have every day, we say, oh, this is the number of money remitted from abroad, from Nigerians living abroad. So they remit that money into our economy for them to not participate in this. And they are the ones that shout out loud. Those are the ones on the social media. They always, you know, that kind of. So I think that is the way we should even start experimenting. It should be little by little, small. We can start off with local government. You understand what I'm trying to say? It doesn't have to be on a global form. We should start little by little. We can start from local government elections. Now that I think there was a bill that local government elections should now be the purview of INEC, not even the state electoral.
CX.
We should start with that. And after we try in 2019, by the time we get to about 20 whatever again, I'm sure we'll never have. I think that is the way to go. And that in itself, we reduce all these electoral malpractices we have expressed now. Because
now, INEC came to, we are short of time now, but INEC came up with a long dates for elections until 2030. 2030 or 2036 or something, or 2034 as the case may be. But apart from those dates and dates and dates and date and dates, we also expect to see that by the next 2 general elections, senior citizens should be able to vote first, like they do in some places. Then those who are essential workers, like medical doctors, police, and journalists should vote first on the previous day before the general.
Physically challenged.
Exactly, physically challenged.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
diaspora.
So
we start to see that
I agree
timetable
with
too.
you. As I said, INEC is substantially moving forward from where we were. So I agree to Ghana, our next door neighbor, has done it.
Yeah.
Ghana has 3 days voting now. The first day is for armed forces and this, then the second day is for paramedical and all those people. And then the third day, the same week, and the third day is for everybody. So if Ghana can do it, we can do it. The important thing for us is to put our mind to work. You understand? You know, talking about this, which I didn't handle. I remember it was this same central data system that cost later Falabi his job as the Minister of Internal Affairs. $200 and something million was washed away, and every successive government uses that program as a cash cow for themselves. So Nigeria must learn how to work for Nigerians and to make sure that things those things can be done. But like I said, caution. Yes. We can't start 2019 with evil.
Thank you.
Maybe when we want to do the next governorship election in one state.
All right, we're experimenting. Okay. Alistair Wilcox, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's my utmost pleasure.
It's really nice to see you. Chris Kehinde-Nwandu, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.